Okay, so today we're going to first start by covering citing sources. And the thing I want you to remember about citing sources is that this is how you make sure that you stay credible when you are presenting research. When we're presenting research, there are several different tools in which you can use. The first is EasyBib. The second is if you use databases from the library, the public library, you'll see that they have a citing tools button. And then the last is what we'll be using in Google Research, which is the citing tool there. I'm going to be showing you EasyBib and Google Research today. So those are the important tools. The next thing that you need to remember is that when you use other people's information, you're going to be quoting or paraphrasing to give credit. So some simple ways to do that is to say according to, and then say their name or the company or the website, and then paraphrase what they had to say, or say so-and-so said this. Those are really good ways in which to do that, okay? Before we go on, I'm going to show you EasyBib. This is the EasyBib site. At the top, you'll see MLA, APA, Chicago, and more. Most of the time, you'll be using MLA, so don't even worry about that. Right below that, you'll see tabs for website, book, newspaper, journal, database, and 59 options. So we're going to use website, and I'm going to go to a website that I found, and then I'm going to copy and paste the web link, the URL on it, and I'm going to click Cite It. And this is what it gave us. If you don't know the publisher when it was electronically published, you can fill that out, but that's why this date access is important, because it's talking about when you accessed the information. So at least your teacher will know that. When you're done, if you can't find that information, you just click Create, and it gives you your citation, so you can just copy and paste it. So you click it, and then you can go to a Google Drive account, and paste it there as a works cited. So remember to use either EasyBib or the Google Research tool, which I'll be showing you in a minute when you're citing your sources. The next thing we're going to talk about is plagiarism. And plagiarism is not giving credit where credit is earned. And plagiarism is often accidental. When we're writing, we forget to cite our sources, but it is considered a form of cheating, and that can cost you your grades, your reputation, school, jobs. In high school, you can flunk out of a class because of it. In college, they can kick you out because of it. It's a pretty important thing that you need to remember. So remember that if it's not your original thought, give it credit. For those of you who like to app smash or video smash and create your own videos, Creative Commons is a good place to go because that has material that you can use that's been allowed, that the creators have allowed you to either use or use and alter. So keep that in mind as well. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the intended audience. So remember that different audiences and different intent when you're writing means different language. So you speak to your friends differently than you speak to teachers and parents. And that's okay, that's the way it's supposed to be, but think about how you talk to your teachers and your parents versus your friends. So when you're writing, you always have to consider who is the audience that is going to be reading this, because you want to use the appropriate language for that. And then also with the intent of writing, if I'm informing you of something, the tone and the language is going to be a lot different than if I'm trying to persuade you to do something. So for Google Research Tool, I want you to go to your Google Docs file, open a new file, or a new Google Doc, and make sure you put it in your language arts folder so it's shared with Ms. Brummer. Then you're going to title it with your last name, Ms. Brummer's name, and your period. And then I'm going to show you how to use Google Research Tool. So this is my tool, and when you go to Tools, you're going to see a Research button. click on the research button, and you'll see a window up here. And you'll see your blank document here. Basically, what Google Research Tool does is it takes your web and it puts it into the tool. So then I'm going to type in my search subject, and it's going to take a second to search it, and then you're going to see it brings up websites, it brings up pictures, and everything. So I'm going to remember how we talked about credibility and corroboration. So what you'll need to do today is choose a topic, and you need to find 2 pictures and 3 credible sources and use them. So right here, I see National Geographic. That's a very, very important and credible site. So when I click on National Geographic, it brings up the web page. And that's a great picture. And it gives me a bunch of information. So say that I find this black mamba's right here very important, and I want to keep it so that I have it to be able to use in my research. I'm going to highlight it and hit Control-C, as in cat, or click right and hit copy. And then I'm going to go back to my Google Doc, and I'm going to hit Control-V, as in Valentine. Or I'm going to, or I can right click and paste. Then I'm going to go back over to the research tool, and you'll notice when I hover over it says Cite. I'm going to click Cite, and you'll notice right here there's a little 1. And then when you go down to the bottom of the page, you'll see that it cited my source for me. That is very important because I need to make sure that my sites have citations on it. The next thing is when you're done, you can copy it from the footnotes, and you can then put it on your works cited page. Right here is a great picture of a black mamba, and I want it, so I'm just going to bring it over and insert it. And you'll notice that right next to that picture, you'll see a little 2. And when you go down the bottom, it's now cited my picture as well. That is how I use the research tool. What you're going to do today is you are going to use your research tool, and you're going to choose a topic. And I've given you some topics over here. You need to find at least 3 credible sources, 2 pictures, use the citation tool to cite your sources, and then after you're done getting your 3 credible sources and your 2 pictures, you're going to add another page and practice your paraphrasing by looking at your sources and paraphrasing. So here are your topics that you can have. Choose from those, one of those, or choose one that you're interested in to use. Thank you guys, and have a good time working on this.